You know, some of the biggest discoveries in history, they don't happen in some fancy lab with famous scientists. Sometimes they're made by really curious people, just exploring the stories hidden right in their own backyards. And today, that's exactly what we're doing, following the quest of one amazing student into a cave just packed with secrets.
Okay, so our journey takes us right here, to the entrance of Қараүңгір Cave in southern Kazakhstan. For thousands and thousands of years, this place has just been sitting here, a silent witness to all of human history. But its stories, well, they're only just starting to come out.
And the person guiding us is Aygnur Bastik. She's a 9th grade student whose passion for her local history kicked off this incredible research project. And her reason for doing it is so simple but so powerful. She just has a deep love for her home and wanted to uncover its forgotten past.
So let's dive in. We're going to follow Aygnur's research as she peels back the layers of time at this one incredible spot, from the Stone Age all the way up to living memory.
First up, we're going way back, like 7,000 years into the past, to the Neolithic period, or the New Stone Age. And I want you to picture it. This wasn't just some empty cave. This was a home. It was a workshop, maybe even a sacred place for a whole community who were right there at the dawn of agriculture.
So what was it really like to live here all those centuries ago? Well, Aygnur's project, which builds on decades of archaeological work, gives us a really fascinating peek inside.
And check this out. The artifacts they found here show an incredible level of skill. I mean, these are not just crude rocks. We're talking about meticulously shaped arrowheads for hunting, and even these delicate bone needles with tiny carved eyes, probably for sewing animal skins together. These people were expert craftspeople.
And you know, it wasn't all just about survival. Take a look at this pottery. Every single piece was molded by hand, from clay they found nearby, and then they decorated it with these cool geometric patterns. It just goes to show you, this was a culture that really valued beauty and art.
But it gets even more personal. This necklace, it's made from shells and stone pendants, and it was actually found in a burial site. Just this one single object, it speaks volumes about their ideas of who they were, what they found beautiful, and maybe even what they believed about the afterlife.
Okay, so we've seen some cool Stone Age stuff, right? But this next part, this is where Aygnur's research highlights a discovery that could totally flip what we think we know about prehistoric intelligence.
I mean, really think about that for a second. We tend to picture cave dwellers as, primitive. But what if they understood abstract ideas? What if they got concepts like numbers and measurement?
So the first piece of the puzzle looks like this. Animal bones, marked up with these carefully carved, evenly spaced lines. Archaeologists think these could have been early calendars, maybe to track the seasons, or even counting tools to keep track of, well, whatever they needed to count.
But honestly, the real showstopper is this little thing. They've nicknamed it the Қараүңгір ruler. It's a small stone tool, just about 8.5 centimeters long, but it has these incredibly precise markings. The implication here is just mind-blowing. These Neolithic people had a standardized unit of measurement. They understood geometry.
So you'd think this would be famous, right? A huge deal. But here's the crazy part. This potentially world-changing discovery is almost completely unknown. Aygnur actually did a survey for her project and found that a whopping 87.5% of her peers had never ever heard of the Қараүңгір ruler. And this is an artifact that was found right in their own backyard.
But Aygnur's investigation doesn't stop 7,000 years ago. Nope, she found another layer to this place, a much more recent secret that was sparked by a totally modern mystery.
So while she was out there exploring the site, she came across this blue stone marker. It was only put there in 2018 by a group called the Descendants. It hinted at a whole other community, a lost community that lived here not thousands of years ago, but just a few generations back.
To solve this mystery, Aygnur did what all great researchers do. She went straight to the source. She actually tracked down this 84-year-old man, Charlie Ameruli, who told her the story of how his ancestors were given this land 3 centuries ago by the legendary leader Tolly Bai.
And this place, this now empty landscape, this was his home. This was the village of Қараүңгір. He and his family were the last people to live there before they left in the 1950s. It's just such a powerful reminder of how quickly a living, breathing community can just fade into a story.
And that brings the whole story right up to today. Aygnur's work doesn't just look backwards. It's an urgent call to action to protect this incredible heritage for the future.
Right now, as she points out in her research, the whole site is just open. unprotected. The historical layers are being threatened by everything from weather to just human neglect. So she makes a very clear recommendation. Қараүңгір needs official protection, and it should absolutely be considered for UNESCO World Heritage status.
And she's not just pointing out problems, she's thinking about solutions. She really digs into the pros and cons of developing tourism here. Of course, the opportunities are huge. We're talking new jobs, investment, global recognition. But she's also super realistic about the risks, like the potential for mismanagement. It's just a remarkably grown-up analysis.
So, when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway here? It's the power of just one. One student, driven by simple curiosity and a love for a home, was able to connect the dots between prehistoric mathematicians, a lost village, and a real, concrete plan for the future.
And that really leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? Agner Bastiak took a close look at the history right under her feet, and she found a whole universe of stories. It makes you wonder, what forgotten worlds might we all find if we just did the same?